Hey, this is Jason with 4W Knives. Got a project coming your way. It's going to be some Go Mai. I've had a small piece, I think it was about 6 inches long, of some timing chain canister Damascus that I did. I thought that would make a good outer edge. So I'm going to go canister Damascus timing chain, nickel, some 100 plus layer Damascus as the core, another nickel, and then cap it off with the timing chain canister Damascus. We'll see. I'm not sure what the pattern's going to look like, but that's kind of the excitement of it. It may look stupid and it may look really good, so got nothing better to do, so I'm going to give it a shot. If you are interested in seeing me make the timing chain Damascus, I do have a video on it. And I made one knife that turned out really well, had a great pattern on it. So you can go back and check on my past videos and take a look if you'd like. So hang tight. Hopefully you watch till the end to see what this thing looks like. So the first thing, after I get the pieces welded together and a handle put on it, I should get it in the forge, get it up to around 2,000 degrees, and go through a progression on the press. Each progression I'm pressing a little bit harder, being a little bit more aggressive to get a good forge weld. After I get the forge weld set, I will go to the roller mill and I will lengthen this out. I went a little thinner than what I planned, but it still came around that 0.14, which is a good spot. I was looking for a little beefier one this time, but it's all right. It's gonna still turn out pretty good. So this roller mill, it's a pretty simple concept. You tighten by turning a little knob after each run through, and it just gets a little tighter and a little tighter, and it rolls the steel lengthwise. Great tool, one of my favorites. If you've seen my videos, I talk about it all the time. So why should this one be any different? I get this out about 10 inches, which was a pretty good length for it, and then get it set up pretty good for stock removal. A quick picture of my son. He's the one making all the noise in the background. Seems like a lot of my videos lately have been stock removal. It's not my first choice, but again, this is a Go Mai, so the core needs to stay centered. This is just the easiest way, the smartest way to do it. So I go to the portaband and cut it out, and then take it to the grinder and get the final shape. It's a good, simple way of getting your knife shape, but I kind of like hand forging it out, as I've mentioned before in some other videos. It's just not always practical, and we have to be practical whenever we're out here. Time is valuable. Even though my day today wasn't full of things that I needed to do, it's still important that we do things right and efficiently. All right, next step in my process is surface grinding. Still have yet to get a surface grinder, so I use a flat platen to couple little I don't know, tricks or keys or whatever, because you want it to be even. Is light pressure, and as you see here, I go with the spine at the top, and then I roll it, and I go with the belly of the knife at the top. It just helps distribute the pressure and make sure that I get a fairly even grind. At this point, I'm doing my rough grind. I'll start by putting a pretty steep angle. It's usually, I'd say, about a 45-degree angle to get down to the center of the blade, which I've already pre-marked. Once I get both edges ground, I will work the bevels up to the top. I am using a file guide. I wanted a little bit of a slant for my bevels, and I've tried that without a bevel guide, and I had no luck with it. So I'm hoping this keeps me straight, and I get it where I want it. I didn't want it to be the same old, so I just wanted something different. and I'm hoping this angle guide helps me achieve that. So I quench it here and then put it in the toaster oven at 400 degrees for 2 hours. Following that, I'll do the finish grinding, just cleaning it up, getting the flats cleaned up as well as the bevels, thinning it out just a little bit more, and then getting it ready for the handle scales. I always try to avoid showing my fat head on my videos, but since I've got it here, I thought I'd take this as an opportunity to make sure you know doing this stuff creates a whole lot of dust, and specifically metal dust. No dust is good for you. Metal dust can really be bad. Always make sure that you wear some type of respirator. Mine is not the most expensive. I often worry that I don't have a good enough protection, but so far I've stayed healthy with it. But just make sure you have good protection. This grinder that I have is extremely loud, so I make sure I have ear protection, eye protection, and some type of breathing apparatus. A whole lot of the guys from the videos that I watched early on always preached it. I'm just thankful that I listened. I really had a hard time trying to decide what scales to use. I had this acrylic set that I purchased from Woodcrafters in Oklahoma City, and I thought, well, by contouring it I could get all the different reds and the silvers and the blacks and everything, and thought it might look pretty good. So that's what I went with. Here I'm just using my system. I've been trying some other methods that I like, but I want to get them a little bit better before I show them on a video. But I just tape the scales together to drill them out. I do this to make sure all the holes match up and line up. I drill one hole at a time. After I've got the holes drilled, I put the pin in it to hold it in place, and it just makes sure that nothing gets out of line. Early on, I had struggled with that a little bit. Started doing this method and it worked better. So you can use it. There's other methods, and like I said, I've been experimenting with tape and super glue and some other things, and I do like those methods. I just haven't found the surefire way to do it quite yet. Once the scales are glued on and dried, I take it to the 10-inch wheel to get the scales down to the spine of the knife and smooth it out. Use a flat platen to flatten the sides of the scales. And then I draw a Coke bottle shape, what I would call a Coke bottle shape, onto it that fits my hand well. And then I use the flat platen to shape it. I use the flat part to get the flats, and I'll use the wheel at the bottom to get the curve or the swell, I guess is what you would call it, towards the back. It works pretty good for what I like. It's harder with this acrylic because the faster you go, the more it gums up, and it looks pretty bad. So it is a challenge. It leaves a lot more hand sanding doing these acrylics than what it would with wood or something like that. Here I'm just using a 36 grit belt to get the work done. All right, I have it all finished up. A little Go Mai with a Damascus core and timing chain Damascus as the cladding with a nickel shim. Thought the pattern turned out great. I am naturally a Go Mai fan, especially with nickel, but this turned out better than expected. I'm gonna do some future builds similar to this, mismatching the different types of Damascus for the cladding and core. The acrylic handle scales I thought turned out well, buffed out, really shiny, really pretty. I think it's going to make a great knife for somebody in the future. I appreciate you watching, and if you don't mind, would you go like and subscribe if you have not? That helps the channel. I would like to get eventually up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm sitting around 300 right now. It's a process, and it's not on my mind and only on my mind. I just want to make good products, but it's always cool to reach little goals. So thanks again for watching, and I'll have another video out as soon as I can get it.